Namaskar, hello, and a very good afternoon. This is Sunday and Sunday Money. It's time for us to reiterate the fact that Shambho, আমরা যদি সবাই মিলে decision নিই that we will stay fit and we'll stay healthy, it is possible. Of course, for everything good in life, we need guidance. তার জন্যই আজকে আমাদের এপিসোডে motivated আজকের এই সানডেতে we are being joined by Dr. Antarikhya Bordoloi from the Department of General Medicine, Apollo Multispeciality Hospitals. So without any further delay, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Bordoloi to our episode. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for your precious time.
Hi, good afternoon. So good to see you and so good to talk with you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. একটু ছোট্ট করে বলে নিই, all the doctors, the fitness experts and professionals are the motivators. So motivate 2023 তে আজকে থেকে আমরা আপনাকেও পাচ্ছি as a motivator. আপনার guidance-এ we will all get motivated to remain healthy. So the first question we would want to ask you is that how are you and নিজের mental health এবং physical health ঠিক রাখার জন্য as a person, you are such a important doctor, but you are a human being first. As a person, how do you take care of yourself?
Okay, so I am a mother of 2-year-old. So there's very little time that I get to myself. It's work and her. So in between, I try to manage to do well to my body as well as my mind, because both of these components, both of these things has to be in the best so that I can function throughout the day. So for my mental health, I meditate, which is very essential. Initially, I thought meditation, how can anyone meditate with so much of things going around? But it's possible. Slowly and slowly you get used to it. Meditation is a very simple thing. Just stick to music, whatever is peaceful for you, just put it onto your ears with your earphones, sit down in a calm room alone, give yourself around 10 to 15 minutes for it. And that's it. That is more than enough. Just in those 10-15 minutes, you just let your mind flow with whatever thoughts are coming to your mind. Just go with it. Don't stop yourself from thinking. Don't try to chant mantra. Don't try to do anything extra. You just need to sit down, be yourself, listen to yourself, what your mind is telling you. Let your thoughts go on and on completely. And at one point, you will feel calm, because that's like your mind purging out whatever is inside it. It just needs to get relieved. That is how the meditation part I handle, and I keep my head calm so that I can function well. Second thing, for my health, physical health, what I do is brisk walking. I tried joining gym. I tried joining a lot of those Zumba and all of that. It does not work out for me, because I usually skip the second, third classes, and that's it. I put an end to it. So eventually what I thought, brisk walking is the best thing. Now, brisk walking, I try to manage it before in the morning hours. When I wake up in the morning before going to my hospital, I try to take a half an hour walk in my apartment complex itself. There's a good walking area. So I just put on good pair of shoes and loose clothes and just go for a walk with some music in my ears. And I increase the tempo every week, or every thrice daily, thrice in a week. So eventually I am ended up with a half-hour brisk walk in the morning. I come back, I freshen up, I have my breakfast, and then leave for work to hospital. Now, Apollo is almost a 6th-floor building, and 3 buildings are there, big buildings, and a lot of patients are there. So what I try to do in Apollo the most is avoid taking lifts. I use the staircase as much as possible. So that also gives me a lot of workout. During working in the hospital, I get a lot of physical workout. So these 2 aspects I try to keep in my mind as much as possible, and I try to do it in a day.
Wonderful. আমাদের সাথে যারা লাইভে আছো বা আছেন, প্লিজ পোস্ট ইউর কোয়েশ্চেন্স, বিকজ আজকে কিন্তু বাড়িতে বসেই you can get your answers from Dr. Antarikhya Bordoloi, who has joined us today from Apollo Multispeciality Hospitals, and we must avail this opportunity যাতে আমাদের সব প্রশ্নের ব্যাংকগুলো আমরা এখানে করতে পারি. So according to your profession, you are specialized in geriatric medicine. Your MD in geriatric medicine. একটু কি আমাদেরকে বলবেন geriatric বলতে exactly what is the age group that it covers?
Oh, and what is it? Thank you so much. I was just waiting for this question. Geriatric medicine as such is a very, very young and, budding kind of a medicine branch. It basically is medicine for 60 years and above. That is an Indian criteria. But according to WHO, we are medicine specialists for 65 years and above. So in India, we take care of 60 years and above also. We specialize in the medicine aspects of it. It's like a general medicine, general physician doctor who is trying to manage all the medications, all the treatment, all the management, whatever is required for a 60-year-old and above elderly person, considering the age-related changes that happens. Like when we age, compared to a 20-year-old or a 40-year-old, the aging body of a 60-year-old is completely different. A lot of changes happen. So whatever medicines we are giving them, the medicine effect can be different compared to a 40-year-old or 20-year-old. And whatever support we are giving them, that is more needed in a 60-year-old than a 40-year-old. So we as geriatricians, we focus on all of these things one by one. First is medicines, whether the medicines are adequate or not, whether they are focused or not, whether they're helping or they're instead they are causing harm. So we try to focus on the medicine part. Second part, we come to the physiotherapy part or the rehabilitative procedures that is required in this age group. So geriatric medicine as such, it's an integrated approach to a medicine person, to a medicine problem in a geriatric age group that is above 60 years in India, we as such consider.
আপনি যেহেতু ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ জেনারেল মেডিসিন, আই এম শিওর অল এজ গ্রুপস কাম টু ইউ।
Definitely. I mean, medicine itself, we have like around 70 to 80% patients are already in geriatric age group, 60 and above years. So we are already dealing with that age group.
Right. So আজকে আমাদের যদিও the objective is that আমরা ওজন কমাবো, but of course everybody has their individual questions. So Pooja has a question: medicine to gain weight. So this is completely, yeah.
Okay, that's something very nice. Gain weight. So for gaining weight, we would advise first of all lifestyle modifications. We don't jump to medications, because medications, as I had mentioned earlier, has a lot of effects on all the systems of your body. So instead, what we would say is increase the calorie amount of your food. The food that we take nowadays can be measured in calorie amount. How much calorie you are taking in breakfast, lunch, dinner. There are a lot of apps for it in your mobile. So you download one of those apps. Accordingly, you put in your breakfast and lunch and dinner, whatever you are having. They will calculate it and they will tell you the amount of calories that you're having. So what I would advise you is try to have your total calorie intake around 2000 calories per day, 1800 to 2000 calories per day. That is the required amount, and that will improve your weight gain, that will improve your muscle mass, that will improve whatever the conditions that you are asking for. But medicine, I would say keep it for the second choice. If that is not helping, then we will give you any other multivitamin. There are a lot of supplements and all. But before that, focus on increasing the calorie amount of the normal food that you have at home.
Thank you. এরকম ইউনিক, মানে আমি জানি আমার মা during her college days, she was very, very thin. So Ma used to have a lot of doodh, kola and bhats after meal. So to gain weight, that was what she followed. And then she would be like looking back and saying, কেন যে তখন চাইতাম মোটা হব।
I know, exactly.
That was the age when Bollywood was a little plump on screen and everybody
aspired.
Yeah.
The size zero concept was not there.
So আমার পূজার প্রশ্নটা দেখে আমার মায়ের কথা মনে পড়ে গেল। So interesting. অভিরাজ ভট্টাচার্য প্রশ্ন করছে, can hyperthyroidism be managed without medication or surgery through lifestyle changes?
Okay, hi Abhiraj. Hyperthyroidism requires medication. You cannot manage it only through lifestyle changes. Hyperthyroidism, initially you will need medications and all to control your thyroid levels, and everything can be brought down to normal level. And if there are any causative reasons, the reasons why hyperthyroidism has happened, that can be ruled out after getting all the investigations done. So once that gets settled, then the later part of the journey, what you can do is manage with lifestyle modifications. That can be advised by your general physician. But initially, the general physician's help is required in this.
মানে ওষুধ প্রয়োজন। Good afternoon অনেক আসছে। আয়েশা প্রশ্ন করছে, dear doctor, is wheat better for weight reduction or rice, as rice has no gluten but wheat has gluten?
That's a nice question. There is this concept of no gluten, gluten-free diet and all. So wheat as such is a better product which can be digested by your system and can be eliminated. So wheat, I would recommend. Yes, wheat is very nice, very good product if you can base on it. But that does not mean that you completely remove the rice part or the gluten part. Anything in excess is bad. Anything in very less is bad. It has to be in moderation. So if you're having wheat, please go ahead, make it a main product of your meals. But তার সাথে rice has to be a part of it. So gluten, make it a part of it. Don't completely avoid it because all of these things are required in your body somehow or the other.
ওকে, and আমার মানে ডায়েটের ব্যাপারে সবসময় there should be somebody specialized যার কাছে গিয়ে আমরা জেনে কাজটা করব, because
Exactly.
online so much is available, but everybody's physiology is so different.
Exactly.
So it should be customized according to what your requirement is, and she's extending her thanks to you and me.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Aisha.
যার যা প্রশ্ন আছে আজকে করে ফেলো। আজকে কিন্তু রোববার দিন, you're getting a doctor not on call but on digital, and this is such a great thing, and all thanks to Apollo Multispeciality Hospitals and Dr. Antarikhya. That's such a beautiful name.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so Rahul Gupta prashna korche, we buy more generic drugs these days and these are given by matching the main ingredient. Do not need to match other in objects, if so how much? So amar mone hoy generic composition dekhe oshud kena niye proshno.
Yes, the composition basically matters. Composition will be like either it's a single drug, so the drug name will be given and the quantity, that is milligram, 1 gram, how much is it? Or if it's a combination, 2 drugs will be given and the quantity will be given. So that has to be matched. That is required, not anything else. It's a good, you get the medicine from a good generic store, that is more than enough.
এবার ওষুধ নিয়ে যখন কথা হচ্ছে তো জানতে চাই, একই কম্পোজিশনের ওষুধ 50 টাকা পার পিসে অ্যাভেলেবল, 5 টাকা পার পিসে অ্যাভেলেবল। অ্যাজ এ কনজিউমার আমরা ভীষণ কনফিউজ। ডাক্তাররা অনেক সময় দামি ওষুধ লেখেন, পাড়ার দোকান বলে এটা কেন নিচ্ছেন, এরকমই তো সেম কম্পোজিশন এই ওষুধ। সো অ্যাজ আ জেনারেল পার্সন, জেনারেল পেশেন্ট, আমরা যারা কিছু জানি না and we trust doctors blindly, what would be your tips for us?
See, as a doctor, what I look for while prescribing medication is the company. If it's a known company, if their research development facility is good, if they have good like research facilities and they have like proper data which states ki this molecule is working properly, this molecule does not have side effects, they have proper stated facts about it, then we prefer those companies. We don't usually go for such. There are a lot of pharmaceutical companies coming up. So while prescribing, we keep in mind that the pharmaceutical company that we are approaching or the pharmaceutical company that we are advising is a good company which has a good molecule, which has a good development facility, which has good research facility, so that drugs that are given to the patient are proper drugs in the proper amount and proper molecule is going on, because there are a lot of duplications and all available. Some drugs there are molecules, but they are lesser molecules, the duplication is there, effects will be lesser, effects might not be to the appropriate amount. So that is the reason why doctors as such prefer certain pharmaceuticals. That is, I'm saying on my behalf, not generally. But as a doctor personally, I would go for such pharmaceutical companies which give me a strong data that yes, this molecule is good, we've tried, we've researched, we've done a lot of research, this is the data, madam, this is what has happened, there are facts they have stated, and this is how it is working, and even the patient compliance is also good. Second thing is that the drug should be easily available. Many medications are not easily available in normal pharmacies. So that is another factor that we see, that yes, the medicine is available in lot of pharmacies, then we go ahead with that.
Obhiraj has sent his gratitude.
Thank you.
All the hellos are coming in, and Aishaর আরেকটা প্রশ্ন আছে regarding hypothyroidism. Do we keep having medication for life?
Yes. For hypothyroidism, the thing is that there is a cutoff limit, the lower range and the upper range. So you need to keep your thyroid levels, that is basically the thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, that needs to be checked at almost 3 to 4 months of interval, because that is the duration when the hormone there's a shelf life of a hormone, so it increases or decreases during that period. So after 3 to 4 months, you keep on getting checked. If it comes down to a certain level below the normal range of thyroid hormone, then we need to stop it. Because if it goes below and below, lower and lower, then it can cause hyperthyroidism. So this thyroid medication has to be properly monitored and taken. There are a lot of patients who eventually had maintained without thyroid medications later on. If they're like, they've come to a normal range and they've kept at it for a normal range for a certain period of time, then we stop the medications. But for that, you need to be in touch with your general physician, with your medicine doctor at regular intervals and get your thyroid checkup properly done.
রাইট, এবার একটু থাইরয়েডের ওষুধ নিয়ে প্রশ্ন করছি। যারা থাইরয়েডের ওষুধ খায়, it is always advisable সকালে ঘুম থেকে উঠে খালি পেটে and stuff. So how important is it? And খালি পেট মানে কি even without water? Because while having the medicine we will have a little water. So exactly খালি পেট বলতে what do doctors mean? And after consuming the medicine, after how long can we take our lime water or tea, whatever is the daily meal of the person?
Okay. Thyroid medicine works best in empty stomach. That is completely empty. When a stomach does not have anything except for the gastric fluid, gastric liquids which is present. So what we advise is thyroid medication. Early in the morning you get up, you take your medicine with 1 or 2 sips of water. It's not like you gulp down the medicine with half a glass of water. Just 2 to 3 sips of water. You push the medication down, wait, walk around, exercise, do whatever for half an hour, and after that half an hour period you go ahead with your normal food like tea, lime water, ginger water, whatever everyone prefers, but after half an hour period. That half an hour is required for the medicine to be absorbed into your stomach by the fluids and it can be taken into your system. So initially, first thing is empty stomach is required. Second is after medication, half an hour is required. And with medication, just a little sip of water so that the medicine can go down. Nothing else apart from that.
So কারোর যদি pre-breakfast আরো ওষুধ খাওয়ার থাকে, can that be coupled and had, or thyroid has to be had like separately?
Ma'am, we would say thyroid has to be taken separately. So when people have a lot of medications in the morning, what we advise is if you wake up at 6 a.m., so you just have your thyroid medications, half an hour you go and brush and do whatever every other job in the home, then you come back, another half an hour por theke you can start with the other medications. But don't mix up other medicine with thyroid medicine.
Okay, একটু বাংলাতেই এবার জিজ্ঞেস করছি, your Bangla is so wonderful.
Please, that is like, I'm trying, I'm learning. আমি শিখছি,
একটু বাংলা, একটু
Sure. আগে থেকে বলে দিচ্ছি, প্লিজ খারাপ পাবেন না আমি যদি ভুল বলি।
আরে একদমই না। তো আয়েশার এই প্রশ্নটা আমার মনে হয় অনেকেরই আছে, because diabetes is another a very big concern. For type 2 diabetes, how long can a person keep having the same composition of a medicine? Is it important to change the composition from time to time?
Yes, this is a very nice question. Type 2 medication, we start, like there's a protocol of starting the medication. We start with the very least powerful medication in diabetes. Then we go ahead according to the sugar levels. We advise the patient to get the fasting blood pressure, fasting blood sugar আর postprandial, মানে খাবার আগে আর খাবারের পরে সুগারটা, সেটা দেখার পরে we can manage the medicine. Some patients may require the same medicine for a long time, কিন্তু একটু পরে what happens is body develops tolerance সেই medications এর. So eventually we end up giving some other medication, second medication, third tier of medication. We need to change accordingly with that. But diabetes medications has a propensity, মানে chances খুবই বেশি কি সেটা মেডিকেশনটা চেঞ্জ হবে, কারণ আপনার বডির সাথে along with age and time আপনার বডি অ্যাবজর্পশন মানে ওয়ার্কিং ফ্যাক্টরস গুলো চেঞ্জ হয়। সেই জন্য ডায়াবেটিস মেডিকেশনটা যেটার সাথে আপনি স্টার্ট করেছিলেন সেটা প্রবাবলি উইল নট ওয়ার্ক আফটার 6 months or 1 year, কারণ আপনার সুগারটা কন্ট্রোল হচ্ছে না, বা সুগার বেশি করে কন্ট্রোল হয়ে গেছে, বা সুগারের সাথে আপনার হাইপারটেনশন, বা সুগারের সাথে আপনার কোলেস্টেরল গুলো আলাদা কিছু একটা ডিজিজ গুলো বেরোচ্ছে। তো সেইগুলো আমরা কনসিডার করে we take a integrated approach and then we change the medication.
Wonderful, thank you so very much. একটা sleeping pills নিয়ে প্রশ্ন এসছে বরখা সান্যাল। How effective are sleeping pills and what are the side effects of hypnotic medicine? hypnotic medications. I'm not very sure of what is hypnotic medications, but you're a doctor, you know it all.
I'll tell you, yes. Okay, first part I'll tell you the effectiveness of sleeping pills. Sleeping pills as such, we don't advise on a regular basis. We advise to patients who's not had sleep for a long time, who's had a lot of anxiety, who's had a lot of mental issues dealing with, and who's also had a underlying মানে তার সাথে যদি পেশেন্টের ডায়াবেটিস আছে বা হাইপারটেনশন আছে বা another কিছু একটা metabolic disease আছে যা for which his BP, if it shoots up, he can land up with stroke or a heart attack. So she group of patients, we give the sleeping pills, and yes, we advise the sleeping pills which are effective for them, but sheta for a short duration. Once the patient is calmer, better, then we taper and we try to reduce it. The second part, hypnotic effect, a hypnotic group of drugs are there, like zolpidem in market. There are a lot of such drugs. These medications are given in sleep for patients to have a proper sleep. These medications, the effect is that they start the sleep properly. Some people will have difficulty in falling asleep. So সেই patients গুলো জন্য আমরা ওই hypnotic medications গুলো দিই, যেটা they will increase the initiate the sleep cycle basically. কিন্তু এই medications এর একটা side effect আছে খুব খারাপ, hypnotic বা hypnosis. Person can go into a mental state where they will not realize what they are doing, but what they are saying, but what is happening around them. And next day when the person wakes up, he or she might not have the memory that this has happened. So that's why when we advise this kind of a medication to a patient, we advise the patient to have the medication and go to bed immediately. Don't watch TV, don't go out, don't party, don't spend time anywhere else. Just have the medication, go to your bed, because that is how the medicine is supposed to work. In this kind of a medication, আপনি যদি মেডিসিন খেয়ে আপনি একটু বাইরে বেরোলেন বা কারোর সাথে আপনি বসে আপনি কথা বলছিলেন, so this medicine effect is suddenly. You might just have a lot of dizziness, you might just lose control of what you are saying, what you are doing, and you might just even fall asleep at the sitting position also. So hypnotic medications are very dicey and tricky medicines. We don't usually give them to every single patient. We do a lot of thinking, we do a lot of all coverage and all, and then at the later stage hypnotic medications are given.
Okay, so that's quite a complex matter, and more gratitude
quite
to you.
Complex matter, yes.
Yes, but আমার একটা basic প্রশ্ন আছে, because blood pressure has been an issue with so many households and so many adult individuals. So আমাদের গ্রুপে অনেকেই আছে যারা regularly into fitness. They hit the gym in the morning, or they do great exercise regimes. তো সেক্ষেত্রে এই জাতীয় মেডিসিন খাওয়ার কতক্ষণ বাদে people should start hitting active lifestyle?
মানে কি মেডিসিনটা আপনি বললেন? blood pressure medicine খাওয়ার আপনি আধ ঘন্টা পরে you can start doing it. blood pressure medication খাওয়ার সাথে আপনার active life হওয়ার কিছু relation নেই. You can have your medicine and you can start doing normal work. সেটা কিছু it will not have any kind of side effect বা bad effect. You can আরামসে go around doing your work. But blood pressure medications একটা পয়েন্ট বলছি এখানে, blood pressure medication একটা proper timing এ সব দিনে সেই টাইমে খেতে হয়. medicine, body accepts that medicine at that time, and our body starts acting in that key, and at that time they need that medicine. So যদি একজন মানুষের প্রথম দিনে সকাল 8টায় খেয়েছিলেন, তো সেটাই কন্টিনিউ করার ভালো ওনার জন্য, from next day onwards also সকাল 8টায় খাওয়াটা ভালো. আমি ট্রাই করছি ম্যাডাম বেঙ্গলিতে বলার জন্য।
বেঙ্গলি ভীষণই ভালো। আমার পরবর্তী প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে on intermittent fasting. আজকাল যেহেতু weight lose করার জন্য a lot of people follow this অনেক 12 hours 14 hours gap নিয়ে as a doctor আপনার কি suggestion for that?
As a doctor, actually I would say that is kind of risky, because when you fast for such a long time, the gastric acid juices that filled up in our stomach, it increases. So what happens is, like, there is a certain duration of meals. The reason why dietitians and doctors specify force on it, pressurize on it, ki 3 to 4 hours bhitore you need to have your second meal. Because first meal you are having, you give your 3 to 4 hours to your stomach to digest it completely. Then your stomach becomes empty. So stomach is filled with gastric juice. So that duration, if you keep on increasing, the gastric juices are already there. And those are basically acid, hydrochloric acid. So that is completely in there and that will be there. So the more duration that you give, the acid is there and it starts affecting your gastric inner lining, stomach inner lining. Now, stomach inner lining is strong enough, but then it does not mean that you keep on, putting it through so much of stress. So these kind of intermittent fasting programs, eventually people land up with a lot of ulcers in their stomach. There are ulcerations, or there are like too much of gastric acidity. They keep on saying gastritis is there. Once we do endoscopy, we see a lot of small ulcers are there, or bleeding points are there. So this intermittent fasting thing, I'm little dicey about it. I'm not really comfortable advising any of my patients about it or my family members. I would say have meals at proper intervals, at least 4 to 5 hours, and exercise. That is the second thing. And third thing, your meal should not be such heavy. You should have your food till a point ki তারপরে একটু পেটে জায়গা আছে, then you leave your meal. মানে it should not be কি একদম পেট ভরে খেয়ে নিচ্ছি, সেটা করলে you will have problem in digesting. So diet, our duration, our third is exercise, which I would say is important. So intermittent fasting ta I am little dicey and little difficult to say affirmatively on it.
তো যখন আপনি দেখেন যে পেশেন্টের ডেফিনেট রিকোয়ারমেন্ট রয়েছে, তাকে ওজন কমাতেই হবে, আপনার তরফ থেকে হোয়াট আর দ্য গোল্ডেন অ্যাডভাইস দ্যাট ইউ গিভ? আপনার টিপস গুলো কি হয় টু ইয়োর পেশেন্টস?
Okay. Very first thing that I would say is a lifestyle modification. Now, lifestyle modifications are two things. One is diet, your food habits, and second is the physical activity or exercise. Physical activity or exercise এর মধ্যে আমরা কনসিডার করি at least 150 minutes of exercise in a week, বা আধ ঘন্টা brisk walking per day. If not every day of the week, every alternate day of the week, try starting with that brisk walking in your campus, in a comfortable area for half an hour every day. Then if possible, then later on go for the yoga. Yoga is a very good thing. Third thing which you need to do is aerobics, which is very good. And another thing which we advise is from 45 years of age, a person starts losing the muscle mass. So because of that, aged people start having really frail bodies, shrunken, frail bodies. So those kind of physical structures will end up, people with those kind of physical structures will end up with a lot of difficulties, lot of diseases later on. So along with your walking and all, we would advise swimming if possible jogging, if possible go to the gym for a treadmill, and if possible try lifting a little bit of weights under proper training or proper guidance. So that will help your muscle growth. So that comes the exercise bit. Next, I will focus on the diet or your food habits. I would say Indian food is the best thing for you. Please don't try any other foods, Mediterranean diet, Omuk diet, Tomuk diet. Don't give up on that. Try your normal home cooked meal, proper portions, like I said, calorie measure kore you can try it. Absolute requirement, jeta calorie you will be needing around, if you're trying to lose weight, from 2000 we come down to 1800, from 1800 we come down to 1500 kilocalories per day. So accordingly, meals can be had morning, afternoon, night, and in between 2 snacks. This is the first stage. If along with all of this help, if a person does not reduce weight within 2 to 3 months of trying all this, then we go for the medicine. There are a lot of other medicines for reducing weight and all. So if medicine part also does not help, then there is another third portion, which is the last, that is the surgery, which we call bariatric surgery. In this, the surgery is done so that the stomach size can be reduced, the content will be reduced. So patient's hunger and satiety and all that will be reduced a lot. So that is how the stepwise we go ahead. But every single person who comes to me, I would say first try the lifestyle modifications. If that does not work, we'll help you with the medications second time.
Thank you so very much for everything. আমার মনে হয় যে আপনি যেভাবে সিম্পল ভাবে আমাদেরকে বোঝালেন, and obviously with that wonderful smile that you have, আমি সবসময় মনে করি that যখন আমরা পেশেন্ট হিসেবে কোনো ডক্টরকে অ্যাপ্রোচ করি, a doctor's body language takes care of half our health.
That's
When
true.
we see when we see a doctor who's got a smile and is approachable, আমাদেরকে warm feel করায়. As patients, we feel much more protected and we feel important also. So you have that such a positive vibe in you. Even from a distance, I can feel that your patients really are so comfortable with you. So a lot of
Thank you.
thanks have come in. And Doctor, আপনি যদি any last message to everybody, কারণ সামনেই the festive season is beginning full on. এখন বিশ্বকর্মা পুজো, গণেশ চতুর্থী, followed by Durga Puja, and now the festive calendar will continue. So overall হেলথটাকে যাতে ঠিকঠাক রাখা যায় and ওজনটাকেও একটু ঠিক রাখা যায়, what would be your advice? That would be the last question today.
First, I would say please enjoy these festivals. These are wonderful times in our lives. Enjoy these festivals to your most. Have food. Don't please restrict yourself. It's only once in a year you will be doing this. So have food as much as you want, whatever you want to want. But keep in mind, at the back of your mind, that you go back and tomorrow you try to walk half an hour, or you try to do treadmill for half an hour, or you try to do yoga for half an hour, or do something, movement, exercise, some kind of physical activity for half an hour. Just keep that in your schedule, a part of the day, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever is comfortable for you. But don't miss out on the celebrations, which I also don't miss out, so please don't. And third thing is that if you're planning for any dieting or anything, not now, later on. So these upcoming 3-4 months of festivals and celebrations, keep in mind whatever you're having, especially the diabetic patients and all, whatever you are having, have it in proper proportions. It should not be like one day we are having a lot of mithai and then next day I'll try to restrict. No. Diabetic patients need to be careful every single day for their diet and all, sugars and all. So for those patients, for those people, I would say try to keep a strict vigilance on your food. And rest of us, enjoy, have a blast, have lots of good food, have lots of fun, and wishing you all a wonderful festival season ahead. So it was really nice, Roopshadi, getting a
Thank you so very
chance to
much,
talk.
Dr. Bordoloi. You have been really sweet, and we wish you and your family and your lovely daughter a super happy journey. May health-wise and mental health, physical health, everything be best at your end. Thank you so very much. And আজকে থেকে কিন্তু আমরা আপনাকে মোটিভেটর পেয়েছি। আমরা মাঝে মাঝে we would knock and seek guidance.
Oh, please, you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, doctor. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
আজকে ডক্টর বরদলৈকে আমরা পেলাম from Apollo Multispeciality Hospitals, and the warmth she got into the show and the valuable advice. Thank you so very much once again, doctor, for your most precious time, especially on a Sunday, যেটা একটা personal day, তাহলেও আপনি আমাদের সাথে ছিলেন. It is really an honor to have you as a motivator from today. আমাদের এই জার্নি, আজ সেটার বয়স এখন এবছর will be 3 years we will complete, which started with one person. Today we are almost 1100 people in this group. যেটা virtual, but virtual is the real এখন, right? And আমাদের এই দলের একটাই উদ্দেশ্য, একে অপরকে মোটিভেট করে, ইন্সপায়ার করে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়া. I see great transformation stories. আমার একটু আলসেমি, একটু শারীরিক কারণ, সবকিছুর জন্য হয়তো মাঝে মাঝে পিছিয়ে যাই, আবার মাঝে মাঝে দৌড়ই. But yes, I always would want that যে যেখানে যেভাবে আমরা চেষ্টা করি to remain fit, সেটা যদি আমরা আমাদের গ্রুপে শেয়ার করি, that will be wonderful. Would want to thank our partners Senco Gold and Diamonds and RG Cellulars. What is life without that perfect piece of dream jewelry? And for diamond lovers, there is always an option to shop your dream diamond in an EMI like never before. Talking about Senco Gold and Diamonds, this is a dream I have. Have a look. Nova by Senco Gold and Diamonds এর Everlight. উফ, আমি এই পিসটা সামনে থেকে স্টোরে যখনই দেখি তখনই মনে হয় that this is a dream. ছোট 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 করে সুন্দর সুন্দর স্বপ্ন সাজিয়ে রাখলে, this takes care of your mental health also. It's not that we really need to be materialistic, কিন্তু ছোট্ট ছোট্ট মিষ্টি মিষ্টি স্বপ্নগুলো যখন আমরা দেখি and সেভাবে আমাদের পথ সাজাই, it just helps us to stay happy. Be happy with little joys of life. Spreading smiles, spending some good quality time with people who bring in the best out of you. So সবকিছু কিন্তু নিজের ডিসিশন। জীবনে কি হব সেটা পুরোটাই ডিপেন্ড করে নিজে কি ভাবছি হব তার উপর। So take care. A Sunday is a very important part of our calendar. Sunday is the day to breathe more, pause more, relax more, so that when the busy week begins, you can run more. নিজের খেয়াল রেখে সকলকে সঙ্গে নিয়ে সুস্থ রেখে এগোতে হবে and motivated এই জার্নিতে সঙ্গে থাকলে খুব খুশি হব. Please share this and I would like to thank Apollo Multispeciality Hospitals, Senco Gold and Diamonds and RG Cellulars for being a part of this journey. With this, I conclude today's session. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday.